Second down now.
At the 26-yard line.
They're going to look to throw. In trouble, and he's taken down. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up third. Facing some long odds here if they hope to convert, as they're well behind the original line of scrimmage. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And it's fielded at the 34. 44-yard punt, return of 9. And they will take over 1st and 10. So now we'll get a look at the other offensive unit as they come out for their first possession. They'll be led out by a man who played collegiately in College Station, their rookie quarterback from Texas A&M.
And he and his team, they were the beneficiaries of a first-round bye earned by a tremendous regular season. He'd been a little bit nicked up so he could use the rest, and I'm sure his teammates felt the exact same way. But now it'll be interesting to watch their first few drives in this one, because sometimes getting the rest is great, but sometimes you accumulate a little bit of rest as well. Maybe they come out flat, and they can't afford that in the postseason.
Now 3rd down and very long. Back to throw. Brown. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive.
It's 4th down.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Under pressure, and down he goes. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down. Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't, and a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground? He's going to end up with a nickname after something like that, some Big Jelly or something like that.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Looking to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll get positive yardage there as he'll be touched down.
And it's 3rd down.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He'll drop this down to Williams. And he's going to come up a few yards short. Brought down at the 45. The Texans send the punter out as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. Toronto's offense ready to take over. And a 3 and out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
They'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
Brings up 3rd down and 2.
Off play action. Brown. Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
2 drives won't tell the story of this, but you absolutely have. Look how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get untracked in this one.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Texans will take over. And now out comes Houston. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
They'll keep it on the ground. Pass. And this will be a Texans first down as he's got this up to about the 34-yard line.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hess. Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2.
Now a handoff up the middle. It's Hess. That's a pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
And when you get into the divisional round of the playoffs, this is where having the ability to run the football is such an advantage. The defenses, they're generally going to be tougher the further you go along. So if you can get something established up front, it's going to give you a great chance to move on.
From the 42-yard line, here's 2nd down and 8.
The 42-yard line.
They'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Hess. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Back to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
It's a gain of 17 yards. And the Texans first down.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
And he will find his man on the outside. 2nd and 6.
Out of bounds at the 16-yard line. A gain of 4.
Back to throw again. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
3rd down, and 6 yards to go.
They'll look to throw again. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Oh, they were so close. That close to their first points of the game. Just needed to hang on just a second longer, but he couldn't complete the process of the catch through the jostling from the defender.
And his kick is good. And it's now 3-0 Texans. So that kick gives them their first points of the game, CD. And it comes on the 3rd drive, but hopefully for them that's a spark that gets that offense going.
Yeah, and I would say if you're the offensive play caller, as you look at your sheet, you're trying to find that part on there that unlocks bigger points. They started with a few drives so far, finally got 3 out of it. How do you find the end zone? That's what he's searching for now.
Toronto's offense ready to take over. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. Wide open receiver complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
3-0 after one on EA Sports. Second quarter now, Toronto in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Robinson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. From the 34-yard line, here's 2nd down and a yard.
Brings up 2nd and a yard.
Now an option play, and he'll keep it. And he gets it down to the 32. He'll wind up getting 2 there as he does it himself and picks up the 1st.
1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
Back to throw. Robinson. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. I'll tell you what, credit is due there on them preventing the touchdown after that interception.
How about him chasing him down and not giving up the pick 6? Because what happens a lot of the time is when you see the interception, you just kind of hang your head a little bit and you momentarily pause because you're frustrated. He shook that off and gave great chase and got it done.
Still a great return and very good field position. Houston set to take over. And they'll have good field position here following the interception and a chance to build on their lead as they start with a 1st and 10. On 1st down. Yes. Heck of a broken tackle and able to work this down near the 23. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. On play action, they'll throw. He finds McCoy. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. From 17 yards out. And the Texans are able to extend their lead. And in the red zone, I guess this is why you have a guy like that on your roster.
Without a doubt, and if you have him, you use him because he's a guy who's going to win just about every time. I don't care what the coverage is.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead grows to 10-0. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And the result, a Houston touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Toronto's offense ready to take over. But not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense. Gaining chunks of yardage, getting 1st downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
2nd and long. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
That's a gain of 6. Brings up 3rd and 10.
To throw is Robinson from the gun on 3rd down. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a 1st down.
40-yard line.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down. Up the middle they go. Gant. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
During that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break.
They'll keep it on the ground. Gant. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. The line to gain is the 33 on third down.
Brings up 3rd and 6.
Looking to throw. Robinson. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles, and that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
And the punt will kick out of bounds, and it'll be spotted inside the 30-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
He'll look to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Coleman. It'll be a gain of 5. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. They'll set up a throw. The throw to the left side, caught by Coleman. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Just a net of 34 there following a punt of 44 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Looking to put a drive together. Now Robinson throwing to start the drive.
And a dangerous throw there, incomplete. He threw that into coverage. It was nearly intercepted.
It's now
2nd and 10. A very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy.
That's a gain of 3. It's
from the gun on 3rd down. Robinson. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. And now that brings up 4th down there. A loss of 6 yards on the sack. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Texans are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
And they're able to get this one across the 35.
49 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
First and 10 at the 36-yard line.
So from the 36 now, first and 10. Now back to throw. After the throw here, that's complete. And he'll be taken down after a gain of about 8, as that will lead us to the 2-minute warning. Second quarter action, 2 minutes to go on divisional round weekend. Second and 1. He'll find his man on the comeback route, complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone.
And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. And he returns it here to his own 18-yard line.
So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half, because that's simply not true. But you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really, on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive. And they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. That's some strong running. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Looking left side, and he's got him in. That's Santos. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts.
So as they talk it over, we step aside.
They'll run on first down. It's Mills. And he ran right through one tackle as he fights forward for a gain of 7. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49.
The time called here because a member of the Texans is in some discomfort. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break.
Back to throw now on first down. And he's got his man on the out route.
Now a 2nd and 6.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
Operating from the gun, Robinson. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Here's Robinson from the gun on 3rd down. Over the middle, it's complete. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. They bring their punter out there now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And they won't get a chance to bring this one back. It goes out of bounds back near their own 20. Well, look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. On first down, he'll drop to throw. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
That could have been a huge play, but give the defender credit. Stayed calm, stayed collected, and kept himself in a position to make a play on the ball without a penalty.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. To the sideline and incomplete. So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
Well, they came up with points in their first 2 possessions, but it looks like they'll come up empty here on their 3rd drive. The defense finally starting to get locked into them a little bit. Might have to go a little bit deeper into their playbook on their next possession.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1.
So a look around the NFL, we'll have to wait for postgame because we are moving right through halftime and on to the 3rd quarter.
Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. This off. Ready to go to begin this 3rd quarter. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the 3rd quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Back to throw. Robinson. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down. So they bring out their punter as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the 2nd half. Looking to put a drive together. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10. At the 18-yard line.
They'll drop to throw. That's caught. It's Coleman. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
2-yard pickup makes it 3rd and 8.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
It's 4th down.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away.
Fair catch, signaled for
Toronto's offense ready to take over. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
a gain of 5.
Ball on the 35. Here comes 2nd and 5.
Off the play fake. Robinson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory, down at the 33.
At the 33-yard line.
Looking to throw. Robinson. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd down.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 28-yard line.
Back to throw. Robinson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
5-yard line.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. Operating from the gun, Robinson. That's how the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal.
4 yards on the pickup. It's now 3rd and goal.
Looking to throw. Robinson. Now they go screen. It's complete. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up.
So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside.
Now on 4th down, out comes the field goal unit here. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And the 13-year man puts it through. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3.
So 3 points, maybe not a grand prize at this stage, but it does get them back within 1 score.
It certainly does, because now they stay within shouting distance. So that means everyone on your sideline stays engaged in this game. They know they still have a shot.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
And now out comes Houston.
Now this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive.
They'll start. And he lost the football.
But it looks like one of the DBs has it.
And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
So turnovers, Charles, you figure will be key in the 2nd half, and that's a big giveaway there.
Yeah, and as you and I both know, coaches are always preaching ball security, and none more often than right here in the 2nd half of a tight football game. Now you've got to believe what the coaches are saying and take care of that football.
Toronto's offense ready to take over.
Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Following the fumble recovery, Robinson. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
17 at the 39-yard line.
Off play action, Robinson. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end.
A tough spot here, 3rd and 15.
3rd down.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up 2nd and a yard.
Back to throw. Robinson. And he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. From 4 yards out. And the Snowhawks are an extra point away from evening this one up. But he is such a matchup nightmare down near the goal line, CD. And another example right there on that play for the touchdown.
It's borderline impossible to defend this guy because that kind of size, he can still get out and run a crisp route, and he has excellent hands. Even if you stick with him, all the quarterback has to do is lob it up, and he can win almost any jump ball.
Extra point splits the uprights, and we are even at 10 apiece. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. Oh, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Looking to put a drive together. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And not a whole lot there, maybe a yard to the 27.
A gain of 2. Brings up 2nd and 8.
Here's 2nd and 8. Got a man, and he hits him in stride.
The pass on 2nd down.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 3rd and 1.
It's a quarterback sneak. And he is going to have a Texans 1st down. At least it would appear that way. He didn't get it by much, but yes, they do get the conversion on 3rd and 1. Now this time he'll look to throw. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
It's 2nd down and 10.
He'll look to throw. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
But based on the play we just saw there, he might not be the guy you want to challenge in coverage on these all-important snaps. He certainly looks dialed in right now.
They're going to look to throw. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. The Texans send the punter out as he's on here to punt it away. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. Toronto's offense ready to take over. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 16-yard line.
2nd and 9 now. Wide open receiver complete. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. And even 60 yards.
At the 24-yard line.
Well, as my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. 1 quarter remains for the right to advance to the AFC title game. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Welcome back to Toronto. All even as we get ready to start the fourth. A field goal could get them the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal. Now he'll try to run with this. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. Their mobile, agile quarterback doing it himself from 9 yards out. And the Snowhawks have broken our tie and have taken a 4th quarter lead. So what a comeback here. They look like they might be down and out not too long ago, but they have rallied back to take a 4th quarter lead.
And I think we've got to give them nothing but credit for figuring things out on the fly, because mentally they were on the ropes ready to go, and they hung in there and made some changes and adjustments, and that led to some big plays, and it turned this game on its ear.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. A little juke. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Houston set to take over. And this is a unit that needs to get in gear if they want to play for a conference championship next weekend. Down 7 here in the 4th, and a very critical drive upcoming. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And that is incomplete. Now the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 24-yard line.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. The Texans on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of the 1st down. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down. The Texans send the punter out as he's on to kick it away. It's taken to the 26. Call that a 44-yard punt, 5 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Toronto's offense ready to take over. And this has been a tight game to this point. Of course, they usually are at this juncture of the playoffs. But with the lead in the football, the clock right now their friend as they try to book their spot in the conference championship next Sunday. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the 1st down on a 13-yard run.
44-yard line.
Now a handoff up the middle. It's Santos. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
At the 33-yard line.
And that's a great run, and this is where you've got a running back who feels like he needs to take over this football game. You're in the 2nd half, you've got the lead, you're looking at moving on to the conference championship, and he's got to be saying, just keep giving me the ball, and I'll get us home.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the 1st. 2 yards is the pickup, and that'll be good enough for the 1st.
1st and 10 at the 22-yard line.
They pick it up on 3rd and 1 on the quarterback sneak, and that's not easily done because there are extra bodies in there on the defensive side, and they're moving forward at the snap.
Yeah, I was certainly expecting a handoff, weren't you?
Yeah, I totally was. I thought they'd go with a back, maybe try and get a lead blocker in front. But as you talk about in different games, those guys with confidence in their offensive line, they just want to move forward and get it.
This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on second down. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Santos. And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19.
19-yard line. A gain of 2 brings up 3rd and 7.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. An 18-yard touchdown run. And the Snowhawks are drawing closer to a date of the AFC title game as they extend this fourth-quarter lead.
Oh, this is a great decision right here. Out of the pocket to his left, and he knows if he waits too long, the defense is going to be all over him. So he makes a decision to go and wins the race to the pylon.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead now up to 14. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And the capper, a 19-yard touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. They juked him. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Now comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And this could be the defining moment of their season, all hyperbole aside. You're trailing here in the fourth quarter, the divisional round, and they need to come up with something as they get this drive started. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give them a short yardage situation here for second down. Now a game up the middle to Williams. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
Well, I would have figured up to the 9-yard run on the previous play. Getting one more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was. And now it's 3rd down.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. He finds his man complete. It's Hess. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. And that one drops down incomplete. Good coverage there. Forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 10.
Back to throw here. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. But here in the fourth quarter, defensively, you know that you're just going to blanket the field with defensive backs and say, okay, take your best shot. And that time, it's intercepted.
And we've often seen teams go into the prevent early, way too early, and sometimes they get too soft in their coverages, but not in this case. They understood the situation and played it with the proper aggression.
On first down, Santos. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he can even get started. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
It's now 3rd down and 14.
Looking to throw. Robinson. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Shreds him with a stiff arm. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call.
At the 29-yard line.
They'll run on first down. It's Santos. And now defensively they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Now 2nd and 5. Back to throw. Robinson. And this defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. 3rd and 2. Operating from the gun, Robinson. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. And now here comes the 3rd of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. They've got a 2nd and goal now as they look to add a few more points here onto their total. And the avenue collapsed for him as he's going to be held up short of the goal line.
Short of the goal line. A gain of 1 yard on the play. It's now 3rd.
They'll run here on 3rd and goal. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. It's a 1-yard touchdown run. And the Snowhawks continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead. So the 2nd down run didn't work. They run it again on 3rd down and get in. I wasn't sure if they might pass it, Charles. We know that they like to mix it up down here around the goal line.
Yeah, almost felt like the offensive line said, forget mixing it up. Let's call our favorite running play over our best blockers, and let's get this one in.
31. Texans 10.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. And now out comes Houston. They knew this would be tough on the road, divisional round, and that has certainly been the case with the deficit they face in this 4th quarter. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24.
Brought down back at the 24-yard line.
2nd and 13. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. They'll set up to throw. It's complete on the bubble screen. That's Hess. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
A gain of 19 yards.
And he clocks it with just over 30 seconds left. Now a 2nd and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. Over the middle, the catch by Coleman. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done.
1st and 10 at the 25-yard line.
And he'll indeed get him to the line and spike it here to stop the clock. Here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw again. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32.
And it's 3rd down.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this 2nd half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
One last shot at the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Looked like it might have been intercepted, but he's out of bounds. And a good thing, too, probably. That would have cost him yardage. And now they'll get the ball back on the turnover on downs. So they stay alive in the NFL playoffs, move on to the conference championship. And do you think that the printing press is starting to get those T-shirts and hats ready, my friend?
They have to, Brandon. They have to be ready because if you win, you've got to hand those out on the field right away. And just think about the pressure for the players now. Families are going to be talking about tickets to the Super Bowl even before you play the conference championship game.